We'll then have a series of presentations that are focused on the clinical impact of COVID-19 and showcase a lot of the great work that some of you are familiar with that has been completed over the last year since our last symposium. Chan will be presenting a kind of a review of much of the work that has happened since last year's study-a-thon, including highlighting the work of some of the COVID-19 estimation prediction studies that you have seen published in premier journals. Talita will be presenting about the Charybdis project. You may recall that this was something that we started and had a lot of works in progress last year, but now we've seen the kind of the fruits of the labor come through and a lot of tremendous work there. Albert will actually be presenting on specifically drug utilization trends in COVID, and I think here the paper that our community has published in BMJ is a worthwhile time to reflect on what we've seen, but I think it also really provides a great perspective of what we can do as a community together and how this type of question of what we needed to do looking back at patterns is probably the type of opportunity that we need to be tackling moving forward for the community, not just for COVID, but for other disease states. Jing Teng's going to be presenting on our collaborative work in estimating background rates of adverse events of special interest. Mark Suchard is going to be presenting on the findings from the SCILA project. And then George is going to round this out with some of the preliminary work that we've been doing in vaccine effectiveness and providing the community a call to action about the work of where we could go here. Danny Prieto is going to be moderating a panel that includes representatives from the FDA, the EMA, and industry making vaccines on COVID. So you'll hear from Rich Forshee, Catherine Kohei, and Joanne Waldstreicher, providing reflections not only on what Odyssey has done up to this point, but hopefully providing us some important insights about where we can go together as a community moving forward, both in terms of advancing the science of using observational data, but also identifying and prioritizing the important clinical questions that we can all work on together.